The biggest problem I see with people building home labs today is that they do it completely backwards. They install 30 different tools. They build these giant virtual networks, almost pushing their systems to the point that it breaks. Then they take screenshots, they throw it on LinkedIn, and yet they still can't even explain what a security incident is, let alone how to investigate an alert. Hiring managers are not looking for someone who can collect tools. They're not looking for a giant list. What they're doing is they're looking for someone who can detect suspicious activity, who can investigate what happens, and then explain exactly what happened very clearly, very plainly. In this video, I'm going to show you 7 home lab tools that actually matter for SOC analyst skills and what takes you from beginner to someone that is actually productive in the environment. Look, if you don't understand how traffic moves through a network, stop expecting to become good at investigations. Most beginner home labs, they're just random VMs piled together with no actual network visibility whatsoever because they don't have pfSense in there. You need to learn how traffic actually moves through a network instead of pretending cybersecurity starts and ends with Kali Linux. Look, you can download 50 of the greatest cybersecurity tools for offensive cybersecurity on Kali Linux all day long. That's not going to make you good at your job. You need to build firewall rules. You need to build segmentation, and you need to understand net configurations because real SOC analysts investigate traffic flow. They aren't going on there and hacking machines. Stop skipping networking fundamentals because they feel boring. Most entry-level candidates avoid networking like the plague, and then they panic when an investigation requires actual context of understanding how networking actually functions. You need to use pfSense to create a controlled traffic in your lab environment instead of just building random disconnected virtual machines and calling it a cyber range. Networking knowledge is more employable than installing another offensive cybersecurity distro you barely understand, let alone can control. I cannot overstate this enough. Learn pfSense, get it on your VM home lab, and start going through the motions. If you can do that and learn the context of networking, you're already going to be one up on a lot of other people trying for those same jobs that you're after. Look, a SOC analyst day starts and ends with alerts. And most beginners, they never even bother to learn how to investigate them. They just generate noise, then they stare at their dashboard, and they're like, oh, this is cybersecurity. I'm doing cybersecurity now, right? You need to generate alerts and then force yourself to investigate every single one of those alerts instead of treating dashboards like a decoration. Look, I get it. Decorations are fancy. They look really good on paper. And I know some cyber labs out there that are just like that. They show these fancy dashboards on their big screens and it's not doing anything. Look, learn some signatures, learn false positives, learn to do alert triage because SOC work is mostly filtering noise and it's not dramatically stopping some hacker. If you need dramatic music in the background, you know who in the background will actually play it for you so you can feel like a superstar, maybe an action adventure, maybe Mr. Robot playing in the background. You need to start figuring out why the alert actually fired, what it's doing, where it came from, where it's going, what time was hit, when did it start, when did it end. All of that stuff is available within this process, right? Most beginner labs become alert spam factories because people care more about the volume than the actual investigative quality. You need to start small and work your way up. It doesn't matter how minimal the alert is. If you don't understand what fired or why it fired in the first place, it doesn't matter if it's just noise. Figure out what happened there. Go through the process and understand every single alert that fires on your machine, regardless of what it is. It doesn't matter if it's something as simple as somebody logged on the computer. Do you understand why that alert fired and why it's only considered a minor or if it's just a notification? If your lab never teaches you what a false positive is, you're not doing SOC analysis, okay? You need to be practicing real cybersecurity, not fantasy cybersecurity, and I can tell you this much, false positives happen all the time in a SOC environment. If your environment, if your lab is continually all true positives all the time, and it's never wrong, you're not learning cybersecurity. Go through the process. Let somebody play with your virtual machines. Give it to your kid, brother, or sister so they can mess around with it. Trust me, they will figure out how to fire some alerts and then go through and investigate those properly. That's going to make you more employable. Most people open Wireshark way too early and then they drown in packets and they learn absolutely nothing as they're going through. If you can't recognize behavior first, packet analysis just becomes chaos. You're not going to get anything from it. You need to learn behavior analysis through DNS, HTTPS, HTTP, connection logs, instead of blindly scrolling through packets for hours that you don't understand. Use Zeek to understand what normal traffic looks like, because abnormal traffic only stands out when you actually understand what the baseline behavior is on your systems. Stop pretending threat hunting is a movie about hacking. Real threat hunting is pattern recognition and anomaly detection. And if you can go through and understand that, you're already ahead of the game of what a lot of people seem to think that threat hunting actually is. Most beginners, they like to jump directly into Wireshark, and then they drown in it because they have no investigative direction whatsoever. They get this PCAP and they just start going through it, and they have no idea what they're looking for. They just understand that some attack happened at some point. Think about it this way. If I give you a PCAP for 3 hours long, are you going to be able to actually tell me anything that's going on there? Are you going to go through there and be like, okay, well, you know, it's going to take me 3 weeks to figure this out, because you have no direction. A lot of SAC analysts know tool names, but they can't recognize suspicious behavior without somebody pointing it out first. Don't be that guy. Go through and understand the process that comes with Wireshark, comes with Zeek, through the entire workflow process when it comes to investigating alert. That's going to put you ahead of somebody else. That's going to put you up into real understanding of what a SOC really does. When you're ready and you actually want the truth, then you go to the package. This is where a lot of fake cybersecurity knowledge completely falls apart, because there's no walkthrough, there's no answer keys, there's no test going through and saying, oh, well, you know, you go through this process and then you do this. And, you know, it's not hide and seek when we're looking at real Wireshark traffic. Analyze real PCAPs and learn traffic behavior instead of memorizing those filters like there's some type of magic spell out there. Trust me, if you need to know a filter, ChatGPT or Claude knows them all. All you have to probably get in and say, hey, this is what I'm trying to do in my Wireshark. It'll tell you what command to run. You'll be fine. Trust me. Follow TCP streams and inspect DNS traffic. Investigate suspicious communications, because at the end of the day, packet analysis teaches analytical thinking instead of just vocabulary and memorization. I can't overstate this enough, and I've got a lot of Wireshark videos out there. Stop relying on walkthroughs for every investigation. Real PCAPs do not come with those answer keys. They don't exist. Wireshark is probably more valuable than a huge percentage of beginner certifications, because it teaches investigative logic instead of just exam trivia. And I think that's where a lot of beginners start to fail. They're like, yeah, I want to learn Wireshark. I'm going to watch this video and I'm going to follow along. And that's great if you've never seen Wireshark before. It's fantastic if you're trying to brush up on those skills and you don't know it. But when it comes to real analytical thinking, when it comes to real analysis of trying to figure out what's going on there, it's not about tool memorization. It's not about filter memorizations. It's about going through the process and figuring out what happened, when it happened, and all the intricacies associated with it. Most people using Wireshark are not actually investigating anything. Look, if this video has been helpful to you at all, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me. I'd really appreciate it. And I've got some affiliate links below that actually teach through some of these tools I'm talking about. I'm sure they're worthwhile. I'm sure they're worth your time, and they help benefit the channel just a little bit. The problem with most beginner labs is that they're heavily focused on networks, because endpoint analysis is, quite frankly, harder. The problem is that real attackers, they actually live on those endpoints. They're not inside those colorful dashboards that we all know and love. You need to learn process creation. You need to understand PowerShell activity. And most of all, you need to understand that parent-child relationship on your systems. Attackers live on those endpoints, not on the networks by themselves. Stop avoiding endpoint telemetry, because it feels harder than packet analysis. That difficulty is exactly why it matters to you professionally when you're trying to get that position. Look, I get it. It's a new tool that you may not want to learn, but if you can utilize Sysmon to connect suspicious activity traffic back to the process that caused it, instead of just guessing blindly during the investigative process, you're going to be well ahead of all the other people trying to learn cybersecurity. A lot of beginners claim they want to be SOC analysts. They want to be in that SOC job, but they avoid Windows internals completely, which makes no sense to an enterprise security. Because I got to tell you, over 90% of companies use Windows. They don't use Mac and they don't use Linux. And believe it or not, that help desk role, that's why it's so valuable for somebody trying to enter cybersecurity from that role. So this is where I go and I say, look, if you can't get a SOC job, get a help desk role. Believe it or not, it will help you immensely. You need to learn how Windows actually behave, because it's a lot more valuable than a lot of people think it is. And if you could do that instead of another random offensive cybersecurity framework tool you're probably never going to use anyway, you're going to be heads and tails of everybody else. If I had a nickel every time someone installed a Splunk without actually doing anything with it, I'd probably have a ton of nickels. A dashboard without investigative skills is just expensive wallpaper. Stop installing it and thinking you're suddenly some type of cybersecurity entrepreneur that's going to rule the world. You need to start using it. Centralize your logs and practice real investigations instead of wasting hundreds of hours building pretty dashboards on LinkedIn or on whatever system you're trying to fool people into thinking that you actually know cybersecurity. You need to correlate those Suricata alerts, those Sysmon logs, that Zeek data, because real SOC analyst involves connecting all that evidence together across multiple telemetry sources into a nice, pretty dashboard that actually is worth something. Stop thinking syntax alone is going to make you employable. Query language means nothing if you can't recognize the attacker behavior, all right? Without meaningful telemetry as you're going through this, you're basically just providing an expensive search bar pretending to be cybersecurity. And that's the truth of the matter, right? Most beginner Splunk labs, they look impressive. They really do. But they completely fall apart after a second of actual investigative alerts. Now, look, you can go through and learn Splunk on your own. There's really no hard part about it. And they have a free version that you can download and put on there. If you don't have Splunk in your home lab yet and you're not using it, you're doing something very, very wrong with your attempt to get into cybersecurity. I can't overstate this enough. Splunk is like the end-all, be-all when it comes to free tools that are enterprise level that you have direct access to. Why aren't you using it? You should know it up, down, and sideways. And here's the best part. They have a competition called Boss of the SOC. You can actually grab those files and put them on your virtual machine, and all that data leads into different events that they've already put together. There's questions and answers. There's quizzes for it to help you learn how to tackle these different incidents in your Splunk lab. Go for it. Learn it. Go through and just really grab it. If you're trying to figure out what real SOC work actually involves, well, it's constant decoding, deossification, and artifact analysis. But beginners like you're ignoring tools like CyberChef because you're too busy chasing those flashy hacker tools that will barely use in a professional environment. You need to understand decoding. You need to decode base 64. You need to analyze obfuscated PowerShell. You need to inspect suspicious payloads because real SOC work is constantly involving that messy data that nobody wants to touch. Stop ignoring utility tools because they're not flashing enough for social media screenshots on LinkedIn. CyberChef is more practical for day-to-day investigations than a huge number of those elite hacking tools that you're never going to use. You need to stop obsessing over them. Let's be honest here, okay? Most cybersecurity beginners want to feel like attackers while completely neglecting the skills of analyzing evidence efficiently that is actually going to get you the job that you need to become a pen tester. The boring investigative tools are usually the ones that professionals actually use every single day. Look, if it's boring and you don't want to use it, chances are you probably should learn it. Did you notice a pattern with all the tools I showed you today? None of them, not a single one, has a very flashy GUI interface to show on LinkedIn or someplace else. They're not about visibility, right? They're about detection, investigation, and analytical thinking. Stop building home labs that make you look busy. Go build one that teaches you how to investigate, how to go through the properties of a real alert, and teaches you what's going on within cybersecurity. That's what's going to get you hired at the end of the day.